Federal government explains how students will access loans. Program fully automated, extended to those seeking skill acquisition. Direct payment to beneficiary schools. The process for accessing the student loan program of the federal government will be seamless, officials say yesterday. According to them, there will be no human contact. Everything will be automated. Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Student Loan Board, Dr. Akintunde Sonya, who spoke to reporters at the Aso Rock Villa after meeting with President Bola Tinubu, explained that funds for successful students will be transferred to the school's account. The scheme has been widened to accommodate young Nigerians interested in acquiring skills outside tertiary institutions. Sonya spoke to reporters along with the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zaccheaus Adedeji. Dr. Adedeji said his involvement at yesterday's meeting with the president was because the education tax is a major source of funding for the loan scheme. Sonya explained that the loan scheme will enable every applicant to pick a career trajectory rather than being forced to do something else because of a lack of funds to acquire the requisite education. He believes the program will help to stem the dangerous journey undertaken by Nigerian youth across the Sahel to Europe in search of a better life. Sonya said, "This has been done with a lot of thought. So in application and in applying for this loan, there is zero human intervention. In other words, there is an app. Every interested Nigerian will go on to a portal and engage the app. He or she will have to put in certain pieces of information which will make them eligible. It will include their UTME, Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination number, and of course their date of birth. Further pieces of information include things like the NIN, National Identification Number, which confirms that they are Nigerians. The fund is going to come mostly from Nigeria's taxpayer, so it is for Nigerians. The NIN will help us to verify and qualify them for the loan. Their BVN will also be required. This scheme will at some point be able to empower students, so we need to know that they have bank account. The applicant will also have to provide the admission number so that we can firmly establish which institution they are going to, because one of the key elements of this is that once we have received applications and those applications are approved, the fees or the tuition requirement will transfer directly to their institution. That it itself has benefit for the institutions. Many students who are struggling to pay tuition, their parents are struggling to pay, there is a high dropout rate. It's one thing to get into a tertiary institution, another to stay there for 4 or more years. This scheme seeks to help people access and remain in school until they graduate. Nigerians are qualified to apply, and clearly, there will be shifting. We are going to highlight those who are mostly in need in the first instance. Education is something that everybody should have a right to. The intention of the act establishing the scheme is to ensure that the reason for one not being able to further his or her education at tertiary level is eliminated. The law also seeks to bridge the gap between the desire to study and the capacity to go further. This intervention will affect the lives of many Nigerian youth positively. It will impact many Nigerian families because the duty to pay education falls on parents. Explaining further, Adedeji said, "This is one of the schemes that will be applying the education tax that we will collect." So this is a way of being accountable to the taxpayer, because the essence of education tax is to consolidate and restore education integrity and quality. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajurin Gelari, in a statement that the president directed an expansion of the focus of the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, Net Fund, to include students interested in skill development program. Ngelale added that Tinubu pointed out that it was important for the scheme to be extended to such people because skill acquisition is as important as obtaining undergraduate and graduate academic qualification. Ngelale's statement reads, "This loan scheme is not an exclusive program. It is catering to all of our young people. Young Nigerians are gifted in different areas. This is not only for those who want to be doctors, lawyers, and accountants. It is for those who aspire to use their skill and trained hands to build our nation." Therefore, had been directed to explore all opportunity to inculcate skill development program, because not everyone wants to go through full university education. No matter how economically challenged you are, accredited and qualified students will and must have access to this loan to advance their education in higher institution. There is no compromise in our commitment to the disadvantaged citizen of this nation.